point out one thing too, as I'm standing here listening to everybody speak and talk about what it is that they believe autism advocacy is about. And I've heard a lot of apologies. I'm sorry I'm taking time to process, I'm sorry that. And that's something that people that are on the spectrum, including myself, feel like we have to do. We feel like we have to apologize for ourselves all the time because we're not able to function the way that society is built. So what we're asking society to do isn't really that much. Think about how many handicap parking spaces there are now and how many handicap ramps there are. Not only people in wheelchair benefit from those ramps. People like my parents who are having trouble getting upstairs now as they're aging, they benefit from those ramps. Everybody has benefited from the things that we've done in society and that we've adjusted, but we had to talk to people in wheelchairs first. We had to include people with disabilities to understand what we need. And we had to get to a point where we didn't have to apologize for creating 3 or 4 parking spaces close to the building for somebody who needs them. That's, I think, what we're all trying to get to here, is that we want to be a part of building the society, not just have everyone accommodate for us, have us help build these new programs, and get to a point where we don't have to apologize for being ourselves. That's what I'm hearing. And I do want to get to, so what I'd like to actually do is the next question is very similar to the first 2 questions, but you're just getting deeper into detail, because the next one was what autism self-advocates are advocating for. And we've really covered that, so what I was kind of hoping we could do, and don't forget, we got your green cards if you want to answer, and your orange cards if you want to answer, but you need some time, and your red card if you're just not interested in answering this one, so that will help. I want you to really think about what you specifically are advocating for, you yourself, something like a program you're working on. And if you don't mind, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to do something a little different there. I know you are ready. If you're ready, you might just give me a second. I'd like to do something a little different. Bennett, if you're up to it, would you mind telling people about the Autism Self-Advocacy Network and how important it is? Okay. Would you be okay with that?
Well, we're a group of autistic people who,
They can hear you. You're good. You're good.
and we're working on a daily morning kids who don't mind curriculums, and also something other projects. We'll be able to announce later.
And it's an organization that's run by people on the spectrum,
Yes.
including the founder, right?
Yes.
So that's, I think, really important work that Bennett's doing. I didn't hear what he said. There's a disability day in the morning that's coming up, an event. Do you guys have a website?
Yes.
Do you have a website? Could they get it? It's on Facebook. Okay, so then maybe they can get to you guys after the event and ask about her day of mourning?
If I might, it is also advertised on one of the handouts that Gregory and Madame Rousseau put out.
Next to your pizza.
Yes, for us, it's going to be the first item on this sheet. Says summary of upcoming autism-related events in the Atlanta area for the spring 2006. But it'll be at the First Baptist Church of Decatur from 6 to 8 o'clock, same hours that this event is going on, really. So, yes, and a couple of us that at this table will in fact be speaking at it.
So Sean, when we get to maybe you can add any extra detail that you want to about the important work you guys are doing.
Yes,
definitely. Maya's definitely been waiting in very patiently. I'm going to go ahead and let her answer what she's advocating.
Well, a few things. So, for those of you who don't know, again, I work at the Center for Leadership and Disability, and if you guys see these flyers, I have been involved in the planning committee for the statewide annual conference, and I've been bringing a lot of ideas to the table, and it was where I decided to get involved in the volunteer part of the conference, because I have a dream to see conferences stop having events just for professionals to go in and listen to experts and bash us on the head or bash us behind our back. Something that's really going to represent the autism and Georgia and the United States and the world, and something that's going to stand out, something that's going to shine. What other things do I advocate for? Myself. Like, as I was talking about, I had that friend who called me up and told me not to get involved with jury duty because I'm autistic, and B, because I talk too much and my parents think that I wouldn't be able to understand. So basically learning to stand up for myself and let people know, hey, just because I'm autistic, it doesn't mean I'm a doormat. And finally, in the past, I've had situations where I had job coaches who were nasty to me and looked at me like I was broken and thought I needed to be fixed. And being who I was, I contacted the DOL, and I ended up having to put that job coach in her place because she was calling me names and saying whatever she felt like. So those are the kind of things that I advocate for.
Thank you very much. Sorry, you ready?
Well, I am advocating for myself. I believe that we are also not only advocating for the ASD community, but also at large the whole disability community. Like public transportation in restaurants could be more accommodating to ASD individuals by hosting sensory-friendly events, and also including ramps and more space for people with trouble walking or wheelchairs. And I'm going to share a personal experience I had. I advocated for I want to advocate for ILPs and 504 plans in all public schools and private schools. This allows disabled students and people like me who are autistic more time on tests and assignments so that we don't get nervous and fail all because of a time limit. One personal experience I had at school was I used to fail a bunch of tests all because the time would run out and I couldn't finish the EOCT until I got a 504 plan for me. And at my school they offered those anyway. A 504 plan gives students more time on tests and the EOCT so that the ticking time bomb doesn't scare us so much. Rather, it'd be better to focus on getting the best answers in answering the questions to the best of our abilities and making sure we arrive at the correct solution. And then also, since we have more trouble communication, unlike neurotypicals, someone has to tell us how to say what we want. And also, sometimes we have to get instructions because sometimes I struggle with knowing what I should say. So sometimes a little help is still needed, but we can still speak for ourselves. Thank you.
That was very powerful. Actually, I think what you're saying is extremely important.